Okay, so you're gearing up for your A-level sociology exam. You know your stuff, but the exam itself feels like the final boss. Well, what if I told you there are cheat codes? And they're not really cheats at all. They're hidden in plain sight, right inside the official AQA examiner reports. In this explainer, we're going to crack that code piece by piece to help you squeeze every last mark out of your papers. So let's ask the big question. What do the people marking your papers really want to see? What's the secret formula? It's not just about what you know, it's about how you show it. It's kind of like playing a game, and we are about to break down the rules, question by question, using advice straight from the examiners themselves. Here's our game plan. We'll start by mastering those short and sweet answers. Then we'll move on to nailing the 10 markers before conquering the big essays. After that, we'll tackle the tricky methods and context question, and we'll wrap it all up with a final A-star checklist. Let's get to it. Right, first up, the 4 and 6 mark questions. Now, these look easy, right? But believe me, they are a classic time trap. The name of the game here is speed and precision. A quick sprint, not a marathon. And this is so important. Examiners see this all the time. The biggest mistake students make is writing a whole mini essay, complete with named sociologists and everything. No, that's not what they want. They're looking for 2, maybe 3 brief, separate points. Be concise, be direct. A great tip is to start a new line for each new point. It keeps it super clear. So let's talk timing. This number, 1.5, is your golden rule. 1.5 minutes per mark. That means a 4-mark question should take you 6 minutes, tops. Get in, grab the marks, and get out. Seriously, writing too much here is the #1 reason students run out of time for the big, juicy essay questions later. Don't let that be you. Okay, so let's just sum up the golden rules here. New point, new line. You don't need to name any sociologists. Brevity is absolutely your friend. And, this comes up in every single report. Make sure your handwriting is legible. They literally can't give you marks for something they can't read. All right, let's level up and talk about the 10 markers. These questions are a whole different beast. They're not just about what you know. Their entire purpose is to test one specific skill: application. So, for any question that comes with an item, that little bit of text, the key to application is using the hooks. Think of these as the specific clues, the phrases or stats sitting right there in the text. You have to use them. It's non-negotiable if you want the application marks. A pro tip, literally quote from it. Write something like, "as the item suggests." That way the examiner can't miss it. And check this out. This is a little advanced technique straight from an AQA report. A question that comes up a lot is, hey, can I use the same hook twice? And the answer is yes, as long as you can develop 2 genuinely different sociological points from that one single hook. It's a totally valid and often really successful strategy. So, to wrap up on 10 markers, forget writing an intro or a conclusion. It's just waste of time and space. You just need 2 clear, well-developed paragraphs. And one more thing. For the outline and explain questions that don't have an item, there are 0, and I mean 0 marks available for evaluation. So don't waste time critiquing the theories, just explain them clearly. And now, for the main event, the 20 and 30 mark essays. This is where you can really show off and pull away from the crowd, and the single skill that unlocks those top grades, it's all about evaluation. But hold on, before you even think about writing, you have to plan. Examiners say this over and over again. The students who plan write way better, more structured answers. It's a simple 5-step process. First, pull the question apart. Then, quickly brainstorm points for and against. Link those points to your sociologists and evidence. Structure it with evaluation built in. And finally, plan a killer conclusion. It's a habit that pays off big time. Just look at this breakdown. It tells you everything. Yeah, your knowledge and your application are important, but evaluation, AO3, is the heavyweight, coming in at a massive 40%. According to the reports, this is the one skill that students consistently struggle with the most. This is where A-star grades are won or lost. So how do you get better at it? Well, the examiners are super clear. Don't just list off a criticism you've memorized. Instead, you've got to make an explicit evaluative statement that links directly back to the point you just finished arguing. And your conclusion? It can't just be a summary. It needs to be a proper reasoned judgment that gives a final, decisive answer to the question. Okay, let's zoom in on that unique 20-mark question on paper 1, methods in context. This one can feel a bit strange, but there is one single thing that separates a good answer from a great one. And honestly, it's mentioned in pretty much every single examiner report. So, here's what most students can do. They can talk about the general strengths and weaknesses of a method, like a questionnaire. They're reliable, but maybe not so valid. And that's fine. It's correct sociology. But doing only this will get you stuck. It'll cap your mark at around 12 out of 20.
To break through that ceiling and get into the top bands, you have to do this. You have to apply all those strengths and weaknesses specifically to the context in the question. It's not just about questionnaires in general, it's about using questionnaires to research, say, parental attitudes towards homework. See the difference?
So what do we mean by context? We mean the specific people involved. Are we talking about pupils, teachers, parents? We mean the specific places, a classroom, a staff room, a home. And crucially, we mean explaining how these factors change the research process. Why might a teacher be nervous being observed in their own classroom? Why might a pupil give the right answer instead of the true one? That is top-level application. Whew. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's boil all of this down into a final rapid-fire action plan you can take with you. Do plan your essays. Every time. Examiners are practically begging you to. It leads to better structured, more focused, and higher scoring answers. Simple as that. Don't just dump everything you know onto the page. Your knowledge is just the raw material. It's what you do with it, how you apply it and evaluate it that actually gets you the marks. And finally, do apply everything relentlessly, ruthlessly to the specific question you have been asked. Whether it's those hooks in the item or the context in the methods question, your focus has to be absolutely laser sharp. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. You've done the hard work, you've learned the content, so you have to ask yourself, is your exam technique the only thing standing between you and the grade you really deserve? Because based on everything the examiners tell us, focusing on these strategies might just be the most important revision you do.